From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your brief news briefing. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Rex Tillerson, you're out, or as some would say, you're fired. Who'd have seen this coming? When Rex was asked why he got fired, he said he didn't know. He had no idea. He was unaware of the reason. I'll tell you what, if you use a magnifying glass and a little bit of detective sleuthing, you might be able to find some clues, such as back in October of 2017 when Rex referred to the President of the United States. I hate to use potty language, but I'm just quoting somebody in the administration. He called Trump a fucking moron, which in his defense is the best description of the President of the United States these days. But I don't want you to get misty-eyed. Wipe those tears away. When you flush the toilet and one turd disappears, just wait and another piece of shit will be there soon. That's what a toilet's for. You think we're going to drain the swamp? We're going to turn this swamp into a toilet bowl. We've got a new person coming in, Mike Pompeo. He's leaving his former position. I don't know if you can call it former because he's still technically there until he's confirmed. But he was, or is, it's getting confusing with all these shifts. It's like musical chairs. The CIA director. Now, the good news is the CIA director's position's going to be filled by Gina Haspel, which she's the first woman to hold this job ever. I can't help but ask myself, if Trump was really interested in having a good PR moment, why didn't he do this last week when it was International Women's Day and we could have all celebrated this? Instead of it being Rex getting fired, it could have been Gina Haspel is becoming the new CIA director. People are confusing the NRA with the NRA. You know, the National Rifle Association with the National Restaurant Association, or sometimes the National Raisin Association, or even on rare occasion, the No Rhubarb Alliance. This comes as Trump shows signs that he is in fact afraid of the NRA when it comes to gun reform. But wait, no! The White House insists that Trump actually isn't scared. Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, and I'm quoting here, hasn't backed away from his support for expanding background checks or raising the age limit on gun purchases, although neither of those two things were addressed in the plan that the administration rolled out on Sunday night. In the near term, the White House says it will focus on training and arming some school officials. You know, more guns in schools. The Department of Justice will launch a voluntary program aimed at matching schools with local state law enforcement officials to provide rigorous firearm training to qualified professionals. It almost sounds like a personal ad. But again, this is not a plan from the No Rhubarb Alliance or the National Raisin Association or the National Restaurant Association. It's from the NRA, the National Rifle Association, putting more guns in schools, which makes us all on the edge of our seat wondering what kind of a person would join the No Rhubarb Alliance. It's delicious. You can make pies of it. It's like the celery. It's like the fruit Skittle flavored celery stalk. Voters in Pennsylvania's 18th congressional district will head to the polls today for a special election. The Democrat is 33-year-old Marine Corps veteran and former Assistant U.S. Attorney Connor Lamb. He's taking on 60-year-old four-term State Representative Rexit to represent Pennsylvania's Southwestern District. President Donald Trump won this district by nearly 20 points in the 2016 election. This special election was triggered special by the resignation of Tim Murphy following a report that he asked his mistress, to end her pregnancy. No matter the result in this election, though, both Lamb and Saccone have to run again in November because they are living in different districts. Well, technically, Pennsylvania has a new congressional map that was mandated by the courts, and it changed the lines for the House districts for November 2018 elections. So everyone can be a winner. Why are we dumping money into this election? Why? Today, President Trump is coming to California. Now, keep in mind, this is his first trip to California since taking office. He's touched Vladimir Putin physically, his fleshy hands on him more times than he's penetrated California's borders. He's expected to head down to the Mexico border in San Diego to look at 8 prototypes for the Great Wall of Trump. Then, Trump is headed here to sunny Los Angeles to attend a fancy Beverly Hills party. Trump owns a home in Beverly Hills and a golf club in Ranchos Palo Verdes. The last time Trump was in San Diego for the it was in the May 2016 campaign rally downtown. Police in riot gear had dispersed large crowds of protesters who clashed with Trump supporters. Trump's relationship with the state where he lost by 4 million votes has been shaky to say the least. On Saturday, during Trump's weekly address, he accused California leaders of acting in open defiance of federal law. No president since Franklin Roosevelt has waited so long since his inauguration to visit California, and he traveled by train. Huh. President Trump has blocked Singapore-based Broadcom's proposed $117 billion takeover of U.S. chipmaker Qualcomm for national security reasons. In the order released Monday night, Trump cited credible evidence that the takeover threatens to impair the national security of the United States. Now, for the record, that's my impression of Trump. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't agree with him, because I'm interested. Go on. Well, the takeover, which would have been the largest transaction in the technology history, had been seen and was tripped up by concerns that it posed a threat to American competitiveness in the mobile technology by putting one of the largest mobile chip makers in the U.S. under the control of a company based in Asia. Currently, based in Singapore, Broadcom is in the process of relocating its legal headquarters to the United States in an effort to assuage the concern. Last week, we reported about a poisoning in the UK of a former Russian spy, and then the whole world started talking about it. Now, even Theresa May is talking about it. She's the British Prime Minister. She announced to Parliament that it was for sure a once super-secret nerve agent from Russia, and that it's an act of war. This comes the same day the House GOP declared it's ending their Russian investigation and stating in their report that Putin didn't specifically want Trump to win the U.S. election. And Trump did nothing to work with the Russians, and he's as clean as a whistle. Meanwhile, former Russian spies are getting poisons with military-grade nerve agents from Russia into the UK. And Megyn Kelly, who recently scored a second interview with Putin, said Saturday that she thinks Russian President Vladimir Putin has something on President Trump. It was reported Friday that Mueller is also looking at a letter that Trump wrote to Putin in 2013, personally inviting him to the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow. That letter is the first known occurrence of Trump trying to personally reach out to Putin. Mueller is investigating Trump on obstruction, collusion, and his financial entanglements with foreign governments, including Russia, with massive cash flows passing between people that are in the inner Trump circle and directly from Russia.